Hi folks, welcome in Seven Rivers Racing, KQEG TV. I'm Dan Dyke along with Al Losey's. We are done with the regular racing season points-wise at the LAX Speedway and several other racetracks throughout western Wisconsin, central Wisconsin, even down in the southern portions of the state. And cannot believe how fast this race season flew by. We were just talking rain a couple of weeks ago, and we were at the midway point, and now we're going to be heading into Oktoberfest with some special shows. Between now, actually after today's show, between then and Oktoberfest, we're going to be filming some shows out at the LAX Speedway and getting you set for Oktoberfest. And what a fantastic night we had Saturday night at the LAX Speedway. And I think hands down, I don't know how much you got to see the Sportsman's feature. My back hurt, my throat was hurting calling the last 4 laps of that race. Had to have been probably one of the best races I've ever seen at lacrosse.
Actually, we did. We stopped what we were doing because we noticed everybody was paying attention to that race, and we actually saw probably the last 10 laps, and extremely exciting.
Well, one of the 2 that were involved in that head-to-head matchup is going to be the guest in the program today. We'll bring him in here in just a couple of moments, and then the other driver that was involved in that race is going to be joining us at the Speedway as we tape him here in a couple of weeks. So we're going to start things off. A lot to get to today. On the last regular season night of racing, Sean Paff won the first late model showdown race. He also enters Oktoberfest with the points lead, which we're going to get to here in a minute. But first off, the night belonged to Mr. Saturday Night Jay Herbst as he went out and did what he's done 3 other times here at the LAX Speedway this year, and that was pick up a feature win. And what also that does for Jay is he now is the winningest driver of 2012, only driver in the late model class to have 4 race wins, and he put 2 or 3 drivers behind him.
Yes, he did, and I'm sure Jay would much rather be up in the title chase and going for a championship than having won all those races, because Jay is so competitive when it comes to the championship chase.
Well, I think I saw a quote he had in the newspaper, and I talked to him on Facebook the other day, and he said that he knows he has no chance at the championship to try to make it back-to-back from last year, but he does plan on playing somewhat of a spoiler role during Oktoberfest, and he can do that depending upon where he lines up. He's going to have to start within a row or 2 of Sean Paff, or within a row or 2 of Todd Korish, if he's going to have a chance on maybe determining who ends up with that points championship, and it'll just be how Jay races. He has no favorites out there whatsoever. Right. You saw right there at the end, Brent Kirchner got a run on Steve Carlson. He took the number 3 spot, and Carlson finished 4th. Todd Korish rounded out the top 5. So again, Todd Korish ended the night, Saturday night, with a 10-point lead over Sean Paff. Qualifying kind of nipped Todd in the butt, and the end of that race right there as well sees Oktoberfest lining up with Sean Paff just a slim 2 points in front of Todd Korish. We also had the first ever late model showdown race at the LAX Speedway. Sean Paff was involved in that. Some nifty driving by Cole Howland to pass Jay Herbst, which he did twice this year when Cole picked up both of his features. He had to get by Jay Herbst first. That advanced him to the championship round, and that is where we saw Sean Paff and Cole Howland for 3 laps. Sean Paff won the coin flip, started on the inside of row 1 for the 3-lap shootout. He took the first race, was the best out of 3, and then the second race, of course, went to Sean Paff, and should have some video of that to show you as well. But first off, did you see the crash that coupled 4 people running in the top there for a while at the late models?
Yes, I did, unfortunately.
That was kind of tough. You're going to see that here in just a moment. It was Scott Rand was running again up front, back from Arlington, Texas. You had Johnny Olson trying to get a pass right here, and close your eyes because you're going to see cars going around into the wall, and then the back end of Niles' car's done. He was collected as well. Better shot here from turn 1 as Rand went around. Bill Niles had no place to go. Steve Owen had no place to go. Everybody just kind of spinning out and trying to get out of everybody else's way.
Yeah, it was, and unfortunately, as we watched the video, there were a few things we could have done to probably avoid it. People wonder how come cars come into a crash as it happens so far ahead. And as our guest can tell you, you have an A post in your car, just like you have on your street car. And if you've ever tried turning a corner and not seen that car coming, That's exactly what happens. You're in the corner like this, and that A-post is right where that is. So Steve Owen in the 29 and Albert in the 49, they were both racing for position, and Albert was going underneath them.
Right.
Neither one of them could see the accident because the A-post was right there until it was too late. So you can see them both sliding right on up because they were just trying so hard to avoid it once they were able to see it. So that's why people end up sliding into accidents later on, because a lot of people came up to us and said, the accident happened a few seconds before you got there. Well, it's because they don't know it's there.
Right. Well, it was too bad everybody got collected, and hopefully they have enough time to get things together by Oktoberfest. I know Bill Doc Niles had everything taken off the car by Sunday and Monday and had it spread out through his garage. Went down and saw that damage. So again, Jay Herbst takes the late model feature. Hopefully those 4 drivers are back. Now, the showdown match race was a pretty neat thing. We tried it last year at the LaCrosse Speedway. Mother Nature rained it out. We came back and did it again this year. And it came down to these 2 drivers right here. It was Cole Howland. This would be the second and final race. Sean Paff got the coin flip, so he got to start on the inside on the first race, which he beat Howland. And then Howland, they flip-flopped. One of the inside got it. Sean got him right there in the corners. Cole put the nose in there and tried to stay as much as he could, but just not strong enough to hang on to the Durango Racing 21. And I could not believe all the racing Sean had done. Had to win that feature the way he did to take second place, had to race his way all the way through these match races here. And he didn't beat Howland by a much. I'll give some credit to Mr. Cole Howland to make this thing interesting.
Yes, he did. And what Sean has just raced for so long. He's got a crew that's been doing car setups for so long. You could see that in the first race, Cole came really close to catching him and beating him. The second race here, Sean is able to pull away a little more, and really it probably came down to adjustments on the cars in between the races.
What did you think of the showdown race?
I actually loved it. I thought it was really a good thing.
Okay, there's one with me then.
Yes. The only thing that was tough is, or exciting, is you could see the stress of the championship. When Todd Korish came off the track, I don't think anybody could blame him for doing that. He doesn't want to put his equipment at risk when he has such an important thing as a championship for the whole season involved here. So he made a good choice for his team. Everybody else made a good choice for what they needed to do. But it was exciting.
Brent Kirshner had to pull off as he was part of that showdown as well. Broke a shock is what we understood. And his crew was running over trying to get things repaired as much as they could. But in the end, Brent couldn't make the race, and Todd Korish didn't make the race either. So I liked it. I kind of liked the format of how everything ran. The tire issue was getting wearying on some of the drivers, but when you run that at the end of the night after a 25-lap feature, you're going to have that. But I hope they do bring it back again next year. I thought that was a very interesting race to call. The most interesting race in the night we're going to show you on the other side of this break as we bring our guest in. He's out of Black River Falls. He was your Rookie of the Year in the late model class a couple of years ago. Ran some late models last year. Has been doing some part-time sportsman driving this year, and he made his entrance known as we bring in Troy Rave on the other side of this break. You're watching Seven Rivers Racing on KQEG TV.